Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome to my channel. Major says hi from right over there. And with that, let's proceed with today's video and why you all are here. So here's what you will need for the extent of the video. A hook of your choice. In this case, I will be using a 4.5mm hook, and then just a ball of yarn. I am using a smaller size hook than is recommended. As you will see here, it does recommend a 5.5 hook, but for me it's just a little too big for how I want my stitches, which is why I'm going with this smaller sized hook here. But for sure, feel free to use what feels comfortable to you. And with that, let's go ahead and continue with how to do a treble crochet stitch. Okie doke, so now that you have your hook of choice as well as your yarn, we're going to go ahead and start with our little loop here, just like this. This is to create our foundation chain. For a more detailed video on how to create a foundation chain, check out the one here. And so to begin with our treble crochet stitch, we're going to actually go ahead and create 14 chain stitches. So let's go ahead and count those out, and I'll meet you at the end. Okie doke, so now that you have your 14 chain stitches here, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and insert it into the 5th stitch. So you're going to want to have 4 chains prior to inserting your hook, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th chain you're going to go ahead and yarn over twice, just like that. So you have 2 loops on your hook, and then remember 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th one. We're going to go ahead and insert our hook just like that. Our goal is to have 10 treble crochet stitches at the end of our row here, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and do yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops there, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops there. So let's go ahead and do that again. Yarn over twice. Then we're going to go ahead and insert our hook right in there. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through those last 2 loops. So it's going to look a little something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and continue all the way down to the end of the row, and then I'll go ahead and meet you then. Okie doke, so now we reached that last chain stitch there. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over twice, just like that. We're going to go ahead and insert our hook in that last stitch like so. And then we're going to go ahead and continue on. So pull through first 2 loops, pull through next 2 loops, then go ahead and pull through those last 2 loops. So by the end, you should have 10 treble crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 right there. Okie doke, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on to that second row. We're going to go ahead and create a total of 4 rows to go ahead and get a nice little square swatch for you. So the next step here is going to be to do yarn over. And we're going to go ahead and do 4 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to look like that. Then we're going to go ahead and flip our work around, and we're going to do the same thing we did on that first row down there. So we're going to do yarn over twice. We're going to insert our hook right into that opening there, that first stitch. Make sure to grab both loops like that. Then we're going to do yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through those first two, yarn over, pull through those next two, and then yarn over, pull through those last two. One more time, yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through. Then we're going to go ahead and do yarn over, pull through the first two, yarn over, pull through the next two, yarn over, pull through the last two. So we're going to go ahead and continue, and then once we have those 4 rows there, we'll go ahead and check in. There is a preferred way I like to do these, so definitely make sure to stay tuned for that next clip if you want to see the preferred way I like to do these treble crochet stitches. Okie doke, so we've gotten to that last stitch of our little square here. So we're going to go ahead and still do that. The 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to go ahead and insert, still grabbing those last 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through those first 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, get those last 2. We're going to go ahead and do chain 1 for good measure, and then they're going to look like this. This is going to be your little square swatch for your treble crochet. Stay tuned for the way I prefer to do the treble crochet, as well as a side-by-side comparison for you to review and see which one best fits the project you got going on. So like I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with my preferred method of how to do the treble crochet stitch. So instead of doing 14 chains, I went ahead and did 13. We're still going to have 10 treble crochets at the end right over here, but let me go ahead and proceed here. Okie doke, so you're going to have your 3 loops there. 2 of them were the yarn overs. So instead of inserting it into the 5th one like we did previously, we're going to actually insert it into the 4th one. So we're going to go ahead and insert it right there, yarn over. We're going to go ahead and pull through those first 2 loops, next 2 loops, and then next 2 loops. So we're going to go ahead and proceed the exactly same way, and then I'll meet you guys over here at the end. Okay, so now we've reached that last little chain stitch there. So same thing, yarn over twice. We're going to go ahead and insert our hook like so. Then we're still going to go ahead and do the pull through as normal. Then we're going to do yarn over, pull through those first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2. The only difference here is instead of chaining 4, we're going to go ahead and chain 3, right? So we're going to go ahead and chain 3, flip our work around, and we're going to continue on as we were with that treble crochet. So 1, 2, insert hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through those first 2, yarn over, pull through those middle 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2. We're going to go ahead and continue on. We're going to create, our 4 rows, same thing, but just with those 3 chains at the end. I'll go ahead and meet you back once we reach that last stitch at the end of our 4 rows. Okie dokes, so we're reaching that last stitch there. We're still going to do our 2 yarn overs, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. One good stitch for good measure there. And so yeah, so this is what it would look like if you were just to do 3 chains versus the 4. I do think you do get cleaner edges like that. They're like straighter than if you do the 4 chains. And here's the side-by-side comparison for you all to check out. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos, please do me the biggest favor by liking or subscribing down below. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.